Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Okay, this one's going to be another really quick video. I'm just going to do another fondant mold review. Now, let me tell you why I have these to begin with. This is the mold that we did on the fairy, well, on the 2 fairy cakes that we did, and I loved it. But my mold had an accident. I don't want to go into that right now. So, there was an accident, so I had to reorder this mold. And I just got it from Amazon. But with that, or with this, came these. I would have never bought these on my own, but they came as a set. So I don't know if you've watched this one yet. I did this one yesterday. This is the little blades of grass. And I was pleasantly surprised. It turned out adorable. This one is icicles. Kind of cute. Now, I never would have bought this one either because I can think of a bunch of different ways to make icicles without having to buy a mold. So anyway, that's why I'm doing it. So let's just see what this one does. I was happy with this one. This one is stiffer than stiffer. Is stiffer a word? I don't know. This one's like super bendy and stretchy. This one, you can't stretch. This one, you can. So again, I'm skeptical, but let's try it. Could be a huge fail, or I could be proven wrong again. Imagine that. Okay. I haven't mixed up my product yet. Let me grab that. This is just Wilton plain white. Oh dear. Okay. Here's a learning experience. It's not supposed to be hard. So the top part of this is hard. Darn it. I hate wasting money. I really do. So when this happens, first you kind of assess to see if anything can be salvaged. If it's just a little bit dry, you can work it and it'll be just fine. If it's this dry, where you could hear the pen on it, there's no coming back from that. And if you try and mix it in, you're just going to have lumps and they'll drive yourself crazy. So this part kind of back here is still pliable and the middle is still super soft. So I'm just going to kind of dig some out so I don't waste so much. I wasn't very careful putting this away, obviously. And that bugs me that I did that. But it happens. Okay, I don't want to mess with the rest of it because I don't want lumps. So into the trash it goes. Bummer. Okay, we've got to work with this down here too. This part, it's too dry. It's like crunchy. So I'm going to take that off and toss it. And the rest is salvageable. So hold on. I'm going to put this away properly. This is what happens when you decide to do an unedited video. But it's a learning experience, so I think it's all good, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it nice and tight in some saran wrap. And then I'm going to put it back in this baggie. And then I'm going to actually put it into another Ziploc baggie with my other fondant. So, oh, that's too dry. Okay, I'm not going to dig out my gum paste. I'm just going to go with my Wilton fondant. Oh, I think I was in the middle of saying that. Yeah, that was just Wilton rolled fondant. I think I got that particular brand on Amazon, I think. Geez, Amazon owns me, I swear. Okay, we might need a little extra light here. I'm unprepared. Okay, one thing when you're working with straight white fondant, and light colors for that matter, any lint is going to stick to this. So even if you're wearing a pair of blue jeans, you are going to find blue lint. So just be careful what's around you. Keep your work area clean, so that you have nice, crisp white fondant and gum paste. All right, so this time, rather than adding gum paste to my fondant, I'm going to use a little Tylose powder, or Gum Tex is what it's called. You can get this online. You can get it at craft stores. You can get it at Walmart. It's pretty easy to find, rather inexpensive. Smells like vinegar, straight up. Oh my, yeah, smells like vinegar. So what this will do is act as my gum paste. So it'll help this dry a little bit faster and harder than fondant does. So I just get it a little bit and dump it on top. And then mix it in good. Okay, and we've had another humid day. Seriously. Oh, humidity kills me. And I think sometimes Mother Nature's like messing with me. See how everything is unusually sticky? That's not right. It's just wrong. Shouldn't be humid in the desert. Okay, so I really smush this between my palms. I like smush and twist. See how humid it is? This happens. Take a spatula or something, clean it off. Man, usually I have to do maybe one dusting of cornstarch. And how many have I done so far? 4, 5, and I haven't even done this yet. So, okay, like I was saying, I really squish this good. I squish it between my palms and I twist it. I want to get that Tylose worked through the whole thing. I don't want clumps, and I want it dissolved. So I think that's pretty good. Okay, next, just like I did on the last one, I am going to starch the heck out of this guy. So I load up the brush pretty heavy. And this is just regular cornstarch, as always. And once again, I'm going to kind of bend it so that I open up those spaces and make sure everybody gets covered here. What was that? That was a weird noise. I can't identify anything anymore. Anyway, okay, moving on. There it is again. What the heck? What is that? Oh man, I don't like that at all. Okay, so I'm still dusting. I really got in there good. And I'm just going to kind of give it a little tap to get the excess out, but I know I got in all the little nooks and crannies, so I'm feeling good about that. Okie doke. So I'm going to put the bulk of my product at the base where it's going to take up the most of it. Take up the most of it. If my brain worked, if only. I mean that this bottom area takes up more fondant than this area because they're smaller spaces. So sorry, y'all. Sometimes brain is just somewhere else. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the last one. And if you haven't watched that one, no big deal. This is what I did. I take the rolling pin and just kind of go back and forth over this. And to keep it from sticking to the rolling pin, I keep cornstarch nearby. Okay, now you can see that it's kind of already tearing away by itself. So the mold is already doing the work for me, which is awesome. So I'm just going back and forth trying to push off the excess. Okay, now you can really see, you can already see, I think you can see that, kind of. So the excess is just getting thinner and thinner, and that's exactly what I want it to do. And then I'm just pulling it away with my hands here. I have a feeling that this one is going to require a little more work. Oh, see, it came out there. So at least we know it's going to release in some areas. Can y'all hear that? I have no idea what it is. That's really unnerving. But I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I'm just going to try and take my stylus in between these little areas here. And try and pull this away. I don't like how this is working out. I think there's going to be a lot more cleanup on this one than on the last one, because there's a lot of excess stuff happening here. And since the edges of these icicles are jagged, I'm not sure about this one, y'all. Might just be easier to pipe icicles. I think if I was going to do icicles, Okay, that's not in my head. I'm hearing something. Okay. So if I was going to do icicles without this, I think I'd reach for royal icing or melted white chocolate, and I pipe them. Or even put them in a squeeze bottle and squeeze them. Yeah, I'm not super excited about this one. Okay. And again, clean as you go. You want a clean workspace for sure. I picked up these, just really quick, off topic quick. I picked up these foam pads from, I think I got them at Joann's, or I might even have got them off Amazon. And I glued 2 of them together, but see how you can get them in different thicknesses? There's a really thin green one on the bottom. I love to use these as a work surface, and I have big, huge, giant ones too that cover a huge surface. And when you buy these little pads to work on, they're rather expensive. But if you go and just get one of these things of foam, I think they're like $1.99. So there's a little tip. Oh, and when you're stacking cakes, buy your dowels in the hardware. Same thing, about a quarter of the cost. So we'll talk about that in our building cakes video. But okay, let's see if this comes out. Okay, it does easily. Okay, and I think I can clean that up. I know I can. But let me see if you can see. Can you see how in the spaces they're not clean? There's still a little film, if you will, or a small layer. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes or so. And then I'm going to go back in with an X-Acto knife, or a little pair of scissors. And you literally just trim it off. And I think it's going to be pretty easy to do. I thought it would be a pain in the fanny, but look what it does. I mean, you can get in there if you do this with them. You can get in there and get them cleaned up quite easily. Okay. Yep. So this is not a fail like I thought it was going to be. How about that? Twice. I've been proven wrong twice. Crazy. Okay, so I can see this on a cute winter cake. You could even, I think I'd be tempted to would I? Yeah, I think I would be tempted to kind of brush it with a little Caro syrup and maybe add sugar crystals or those little white candy beads that are super tiny that scatter when you drop them and they go everywhere. That would look amazing on this. Yes, I would give it a little extra something. So I'm putting this on my list of cake ideas because I want to use this mold on some sort of ice cold cake build. Yep, this one will be fun. It really will. Okay. Again, I'll put the link where you can get this. Oh my gosh, a frozen cake. Frozen the movie. Or an Ice Castles cake. Or Superman cake. Because his house is in ice. Oh, yeah. Okay, so many possibilities. My brain's going crazy. So we will definitely do a cake using that. So again, I was saying I will put the link to this in the description. So if you want one, you can order one. Again, super inexpensive. I think it was less than $10 for all three. And it did a good job. It really did. I'm impressed with it. I'll clean that up super easy and it'll be adorable. So, okay, that's it. Another win. You gotta love that. So thanks so much for joining me. And don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends. And I will catch you on the next video. Take care.